What are like for individuals? Again, I'm just taking it back because this is just a more clear example. So we've got this 6 million, but we're like, let's do this. We're going on it, And from a funding perspective, if we're like, you know what, we may not want to bring all of our money to this. Like, what are some interesting creative ways that you've seen that happen for business acquisition?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And again, it all depends on the scale and scope. And I'll give a plug, on the investment banking side and the businesses that we're buying, we're typically working with 20 million and up. So you've got institutional lenders and all of that, but that's okay. We're looking, and for the add-ons, oftentimes you're looking for smaller businesses. If you're an entrepreneur or would be entrepreneur, the SBA is your friend, right? The government provides, some backing, if you will, or backstopping to your local lender. And so, they're your friend. They're probably your cheapest source of capital outside of the seller themselves. So that's a great avenue. There's always friends and family, right, which may want to help you with an equity downstroke or what have you. So you're not putting up all the dough. And then there's OPM, right? Other people's money, which is more of a kind of arm's length versus friends and family. So you have to think about that and think about Thanksgiving dinner and think about seeing that person at the gym and all of that, right? So there's
Right.
there's always strings attached when you're using other people's money. But yeah, you can, and I think really, and as you go down market, so to speak, into that kind of Main Street type business, $6 million plumbing business, that seller, every seller thinks they have, multiple options. Oh, my employee XYZ is going to buy me out someday, or my son's going to buy me out, or daughter, or whatever.
Meanwhile, son and daughter's like, can we get out of this business already? Yeah.
Yeah. Or they're like, hey, unless it has a .com behind it, I'm not interested, right? Or whatever their thing is. And then the employee, unless you've been grossly overpaying the employee, he probably doesn't have the money to buy you out, right? And you end up being the bank forever, right?
Mhm.
So, if you're buying a business, that seller doesn't have a ton of options always for liquidity. So
Mhm.
they do end up being the bank in terms of a seller note. So they'll help you finance the deal if they want to get their liquidity out over time.
Yeah.
That's a promise to pay, right? So you're on the hook for that. There's other ways if you're not quite, or if you're trying to bridge the gap between what they want and what you're willing to pay. There's ways to do earnouts and, like, right, have them, yeah, if we do 7 million next year, I'll pay you an extra whatever,
Yeah.
right? So there's a lot of different strategies that you can get a deal done. um, the underlying is an appropriate mix of debt and allowing the business to service that debt, as well as bringing some equity to the table. And the degree to which you can get the seller to help you with that is really the sweet spot.